welcome to yoga. This is Corrective Posture Post-Travel Flow. I'm Jody and I'm recording this video for the York County Library in South Carolina. And in today's practice, you're going to need minimal space, a mat. If you have blocks and an extra knee pad, great. If you don't, we can improvise with other tools and props. We're going to really target stiffness from sitting for prolonged periods of time and create some open space. And if you're doing it and it feels good, you're doing it correctly. So let's begin in mountain pose. Ideally, you'll lift your toes and then you'll spread them as wide as you can, creating a firm base. Roll the shoulders up, down, and back, and then reach our fingertips towards our back pockets. We're going to inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, drop the shoulders away from the ears. When we're traveling and sitting for prolonged periods of time, whether it's in the car or on an airplane, we tend to start tensing up and crunching our shoulders up to our ears. So just relax and press the shoulders down and away. Close your eyes and let's begin our yoga breath. Deep belly breathing, breathing in through our nose, exhaling through the nose. Finding our center, and perhaps making each exhale last a little bit longer than our inhale. Let's inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, reaching as tall as you can, and exhale slowly. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, lengthen. On our next breath, interlacing our fingertips together overhead, pressing our palms up, reaching to the left, bring the heels together, press all the way into the outer edge of our right foot. Turn your gaze and look up. Inhale, center, and exhale, other side, pressing weight into the outer edge of our left foot. Inhale, center, and exhale. Press the palms out in front. Drop the chin to the chest and push your shoulder blades apart. Inhale, back up to the center. Little baby back bend. Come back to center, release hands to heart center, and let's come back into Tadasana, mountain pose, which is really grounding energy and improving posture. We're going to start with a little flow to create some heat. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, hinge from your hips, swan dive forward. Inhale, look up into monkey, long spine, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, reaching up into a little baby back bend. And have a seat, Utkatasana, or chair pose. Let's do that again, same flow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, look up into monkey. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, reaching up, little baby back bend. Have a seat, chair pose. And let's flow through that 2 more times, moving at your own pace. So there's no hurry to get anywhere. If you prefer staying in each pose for an extra breath, do what your body needs today. This movement creates heat, helps us ease into movement, and is helping lubricate our joints. On our next breath, bring the hands back to heart center and pause, bringing our heels in a little closer together, opening our side body by inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, reach up and over to one side, really creating length as we open the side body. Each inhale will bring us to the center. Our exhale moves us to the other side. Remember, we all have different cycles of breath, so we may be moving at slightly different paces, and that is okay. Let's do one more on each side. We want to end on the opposite side that we started on, and then we'll inhale, arms together. Exhale, hinge from your hips, swan dive forward. Coming into a forward fold can look a lot of different ways. For those of us that are really tight in our hamstrings, we might need to bend the knees. We might need to have our block here as an extension of our mat. Some of you might be able to go into gorilla pose by stepping onto your palms like this. Big toe comes up to the crease of the wrist. And then we're going to let our neck release while we just let the hamstrings lengthen. Let the head become dead weight, maybe gently nodding our head yes. Shaking our head no. Both our necks and our hamstrings get very, very tight during travel. So as your body begins to adapt and respond, maybe start to straighten the legs a little bit more. And then if you have a small cushion or block, let's place that right in front of your nose. So our left palm's on the block, which is bringing my spine up into a neutral position. Inhale, sweep the right fingertips up into a twist. And exhale, release. Inhale, opposite palm comes up. Exhale, release. We're going back to the first side, maybe twisting just a hair deeper. Release. And back to the opposite side. Let's do it one more time, this time holding our left arm up for 3 or 4 full cycles of breath, maybe even creating a bind. I'm looking for my front right pocket, continuing to pull the shoulder back, going a little deeper into the twist. Breathing deep. On our next exhale, beginning to unwind, moving to the opposite side, maybe finding the bind. And finally, exhale, release into your fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, reaching all the way up, baby back bend. And bring the hands to heart center. Pull the heels in a little bit closer together. Inhale, lift, interlace fingertips once more, reaching to your left, pushing weight into the outer edge of your right foot. Inhale, center. Exhaling, other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, palms come straight out in front, expanding through the upper back, dropping the chin to the chest. And inhale, lifting. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, hands to heart center. Big giant step back with your right foot. Coming into crescent lunge. In crescent lunge, it is a balancing lunge. So if you know that your balance is a little off today, it could be from a lack of sleep. It could be from increased stress from travel. Have a wall or a counter or even a chair nearby so you have some assistance. We have our back heel lifted and our feet are about hip distance apart. We're really opening our hip flexors, which get very tight from prolonged sitting. So travel will definitely cause these hip flexors to be tight because we're sitting for long periods of time. So we're going to start by inhaling, arms up, exhale, dropping into your crescent lunge, feeling the stretch in the back leg. Remember, in this pose, we want to keep the knee directly over your heel. That helps protect the knee joint. And again, as your body begins to respond by opening up and creating more space, challenge yourself by going a little bit deeper. Look for your end point. That's the point where we feel a mild tension, but we're not feeling any pain. We're not feeling discomfort. We can keep a deep, even breath. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale into our first twist, moving to the outside of our knee. Our palms are resting gently on one another. This is helping relieve spinal tension, and it also assists in digestion. Breathe deep. Exhale, release, and reverse the twist. I'm bringing my palm to the inside of my foot and reversing the twist. Exhale one more time, reversing the twist. Again, belly button in towards your knee. Release both hands to frame the front foot. Let's go ahead and step up, finding our forward fold, letting our necks release, gently nodding your head yes, shaking your head no, and inhaling, reverse swan dive, little baby back bend, and release hands to heart center, taking a giant step back with your opposite leg. So we're coming into our crescent, opposite leg, bending the knee, dropping into it when you're ready, extending arms overhead. Allow the hip flexor to release, bend the front knee just a little bit more. And on our next inhale, slowly bring your hands to heart center. Exhale, taking our first twist. Palms resting gently. Exhale, reverse the twist, bringing the palm to the inside of the foot. Remember, it is a balancing lunge, so be patient with yourself. And on our next exhale, go ahead and reverse your twist one last time, bringing navel in towards the knee. Let's exhale, both palms down, framing our foot, step back, downward facing dog. This is a great pose to reverse hunching. It also strengthens our back and stretches our entire body. So press through the palms, lift the hips high. Bicycle out your heels, bend one knee at a time. Take your feet now about mat distance apart, stepping halfway up, and then start to bend your knees, coming into Malasana. This is a very deep squat to open our hips. So if you can drop your heels to your mat, you're going to feel the maximum sensation. Bring the hands to heart center, and then slowly push out with your elbows. So we're opening our knees to the outer edge of your mat. If you don't quite have the range of motion, that's okay. You could stack your blocks, have a seat on your block if that's more comfortable. Hips get very tight during travel. And remember, we don't need to take an entire 30 minutes to stop and stretch. If you have 2 minutes or 3 minutes, it's still beneficial. Maybe you stretch a few times throughout your travel trip. maybe it's 3 minutes here, 2 minutes there, it still adds up for significant benefits. So any little bit will help. One more deep breath here. Exhale, palms come down. Lift the hips back up into a forward fold, letting the head and neck become heavy. And then stepping back into downward facing dog. And inhaling our way into plank, where we're just gonna pull the navel in. So I'm squeezing through the core. And then we're gonna draw our left knee up to the top of the mat and release our hips down, coming into pigeon pose. So in pigeon pose, we're really deeply opening up our hip and we're stretching out our glutes. So this is a great pose for long days at the office or in the car or on a flight. So if you're not feeling enough stretch, you're welcome to bring the shin more parallel to the top of the mat. Less stretch is bringing the heel in closer to your midline. So you're welcome to stay upright. You're welcome to walk out to your forearms, or maybe even stack the fist and just rest the forehead. So go ahead and find what feels good to you. Breathe into the hips, and we're gonna be here for about 90 seconds. So breathing deeply and relaxing. On our next inhale, begin to lift the chest upright. Let the front knee join your back knee. And we're in a tabletop position. So side view is just stacking hips over your knees, shoulders over your wrist. And we're gonna do cat-cow. Flex and extend. Let's do a couple more, please, in each direction. After your next one, we'll turn the toes back under, lift the hips high into down dog. Bicycle out your heels, bend one knee at a time, gently pressing the heel down towards the mat. Inhale your way into plank. And when you're ready, opposite knee comes to the top of the mat, making our way into pigeon, which may look a little bit different on this side. So just take a moment to assess where you need your leg for maximum sensation without overdoing it. And if you're having trouble equally distributing your weight, you can always stick something under the hip, which will help bring balance. Walk out to the forearms, or maybe stack the fingertips on top of one another. We have just a couple more deep breaths. Child's pose is so great for calming the mind and releasing our lower backs. On our inhale, go ahead and lift the chest. Let's bring your back leg up and around to a 45-degree angle. We'll flex the foot, big toe points up, inhale, lift up, and exhale over. Inhale, take the palm behind your hip and lift up and back, finding some spinal extension, opening our body from our long day of travel, or lift the hips and extend into shooting star. Releasing back down and slowly switching sides. Opposite leg comes out 45 degrees. Inhale, lift up and over. And then release the palm back, finding a little baby extension, or go ahead and come up into shooting star. And slowly releasing back down. We're going to tuck the tailbone under, and we're going to come onto our back, and we're going to come into bridge pose. Bridge pose is really going to help open our chest, which really helps our chest and shoulders after carrying heavy luggage around. So let's go ahead and stack our hips right on top of our knees. Stack your knees on top of your heels. And we're going to come up into a bridge by inhaling and then exhaling as you lower down. So let's do that a few times and see if we can't increase the range of motion by lifting the hips up a little bit higher. So when we walk around rolling luggage, carrying bags, carrying extra heavy things, we tend to get tense in the anterior delts, our shoulders, which causes some forward rounding posture. So let's help relieve that by leaving the hips up as high as you can, walking the shoulder blades in a little closer, and then interlacing your fingertips, sending the hips a little higher. Really expand through the chest and breathe. Push the chest up high, and then finally release the hands and gently roll down, bringing the knees into the chest, making a couple circles clockwise and then counterclockwise. And then last pose of the day, legs up the wall. So for those of you that are close to a wall, you can move your hips right to the wall and go ahead and extend your legs up supported. You can come into legs up the wall here, or you can give yourself a little extra height by putting a block or a pillow under you. So if you're with me, let's actively pull the big toes to the chin, stack the heels on top of your hips. This really helps reduce swelling because we're increasing circulation and bringing all that fresh oxygen-rich blood back up to the brain. So this is a great pose to do after traveling or any long days of sitting, really. So if you are supported by the wall, you are welcome to take your final relaxation there. If you're with me, this is more of an active pose. It's not relaxing. Therefore, we would not want to take final relaxation without the support of the wall. So if you're with me, let's release the pose. Come down into any comfortable position. It can be on your back. It could be seated. It can be any way you want. I'm going to come back up into a comfortable seat. Whatever position you choose, go ahead and close your eyes. Deepen your breath. And let's give ourselves this time to let our minds and our bodies simply be. slowly start to bring your awareness back into the space. Begin by gently wiggling fingers and toes. And if you're lying on your back, you're going to slowly roll onto your right side, gently making your way back up into a comfortable seat. We're going to close with final 2 deep breaths in. First one is a cleansing breath. So we're going to inhale, arms overhead. Big audible exhale, sigh it out. And then one more time, we're going to inhale, arms overhead. This time, exhale, release hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day.